Today, on Be Something Wonderful, how to create your desired reality from the top down. I am your host, Tom Kieran, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back. I spoke with a client yesterday that 2 weeks before that was our first session. And he said that the circumstances, that everything seemed to be hitting him at the same time. That his parents wanted him to move out. I think he's in his late 20s, and his parents now want to sell the house. They want to get a small apartment and they want to travel. And they just think it's time. It wasn't like there was a strained relationship or anything like that. They just thought it was, it was time to do that. So now he's going to move out. He just lost his job. And it's a job, I think he was something like in social media. And he wanted to do something else. He wanted to write, be a writer. But it was an okay job. It was paying pretty well. But now he's lost that. And he just broke up with his girlfriend. They had been childhood sweethearts. So they just figured that they've kind of outgrown each other. So he was down about that. And one of his good friends had just recently moved to a city. I think it was a few hours away is what he mentioned. And has a new job and a new setup there. And he was gonna go visit him for the weekend. He just felt lost. He thought, Tom, and then the weekend's over, and then I'm back to this life. I just don't know what to do. It just seems to all be coming down on me. And so we had this conversation again about 3D conditions, about the thoughts, feelings, and emotions, about everything that is not who he really is, right? That he wasn't really focused on what he really wanted. He was focused with battling the conditions. He was focused on trying to make that work. He was focused trying to get what he wants from the bottom up, fighting those conditions. You hear this? So we talked about that, and I said, remember that all 3D conditions, everything that's happening is not separate from you. Nothing is separate from your experience of it. Hear this, everything is an experience of 3D reality. It's all within you. So once you get that, once you really understand that, then you're freed up to see the consciousness behind it and create what you want. So I heard from him. Last night we had a session, and he was in a great state. So it turns out he's going to move to that city where his friend is. And he doesn't have a job yet, but he started looking to see what was out there, and he thinks that he can probably get a job in writing that he really wants. His parents gave him a little money to help get him started, to help him on his way. He didn't have a lot of savings, so his parents just wanted to make sure he was okay. And now he's going to move to that new city. And to top it off, during that weekend that he was with his friend, he met a new girl. So it's very early, don't know where that's going to go, but he just feels like a new person. He goes, I'm not sure, Tom, what it was. He goes, but I just decided that I'm going to really just focus on what I want. I'm going to move to that end. And give up all the fighting of these circumstances. And that's what he did. Guys, that's what we're talking about here. That's the power that we're talking about. I've been talking about something like this for the last week and a half, but even more than that, remember that 3D reality is not separate from your experience of it. That you are projecting that, right? So asking or wondering how long till it manifests or when will it come implies you believe in and agree with the old unwanted reality. This guy was sort of stuck into, when's my life going to get better? When am I going to get my desires? When am I going to get what I want, right? You're reacting to the old current manifested reality, right? Remember, you're either composing the new or reacting to the old. He was trying to fight his way out from the bottom up, from an unwanted reality to get what he wanted, or to get to that improvement, right? You are occupying the old version of yourself, asking, when will I be the new me? I've talked about this, I think, in a video several months ago. But remember, you're occupying the old version of yourself, asking, when will I be the new me? Do you see that? You can't get there from there. Your identity is your reality. That's why you want to create like God, right? You want to create from the top down. You are standing in your old reality. your current manifested 3D reality as your old reality. You're standing in it as it, wondering when and how will I move to, will I see, will I perceive, will I receive my new reality and my new version of myself. Do you hear this? You're standing in the old, as the old, wondering when and how you'll move to, you'll see, you'll perceive and receive your new reality, a new version of yourself. Like Abraham Hicks says, you can get there from there. That's what Abraham Hicks meant, right? To be in the world, but not of it. That's what all the Christians say. This is you hear this from the spiritual teachers and from religions. To be in the world, but not of it. This is what Jesus was talking about when he says, you are from below, I am from above. You are of this world, I'm not of this world. You're in the world, but you're not of it, but you're thinking you are of it. Right? You're in it and you're thinking you're of it. In other words, you're seeing yourself stuck in it, trying to get out of it from the bottom up, trying to plow through the conditions, trying to resolve the feelings and the thoughts and the assumptions and the old beliefs and all of that to get what you want. Wow, that's big. As opposed to knowing that you're in the world, but you're not of it. And going to that higher understanding, right? Standing in the consciousness as consciousness. That's big. So take a stand, right? This is the conversation that I had with this guy a few weeks ago. Take a stand as consciousness. Stand knowingly as the creator of your reality under all circumstances, right? I don't care what's happening, right? Stand in that consciousness. Take a stand as consciousness. Take a stand as God, as a creator. Right? Knowingly as a creator of reality under all circumstances. Allow all thoughts, beliefs, feelings, contradictions, sensations, perceptions to just be there. Do you hear this? Because that's what he was trapped in. All the thoughts, all the beliefs, all the feelings, all the opposites, all the sensations, everything he was perceiving and seeing just didn't seem to be going his way. You're trapped in that. Allow all that to be there and take a stand in the consciousness that's behind it. Right? God only thinks deductively, right? Think like God as a divine aspect of the Creator, first cause. For as he thinketh in his heart, so he is. When you're thinking from your heart's desire. That's why I've been pointing to this for the last week and a half. That is about focusing on your heart's desire. Because when you do that, you're now in the identity of your heart's desire. You're now thinking deductively like God. I am, this is my heart's desire, this is what I am. And my reality will form around that. The 3D world will yield to me, right? The assumptions and beliefs and thoughts and feelings will be created and coalesce around that new identity, around my heart's desire. Wow, that's so big. So you have this, so here you are. Here you are, you're happy. You're choosing what you want, your desired end, your new identity, right? But then you have all these thoughts, assumptions, beliefs, conditions, struggle, trying, effort, obstacles. You're trying to resolve all of that 3D stuff. You're trying to move from here, from choosing your end. You're trying to plow through that to get to your desired end or your new identity or what you're focusing on. Do you see this? You're trying to go from bottom up, trying to plow through all that stuff, as opposed to just sitting in the end, resting in that desired image, letting all that struggle just be there, right? Because what's behind it? The consciousness, right? Consciousness is behind that. You don't have to do anything with that. Let it all be there. Focus on your desired end, and then what happens? You merge, you fuse with that new you, right? As you intend, you don't have to go through all that stuff. You're deductive. You're gonna stand as consciousness. You're gonna stand as the consciousness you are, right? In that desired end, right? Just one more time on that. Take a stand as consciousness. When you take a stand, then you don't have to plow through all those conditions, those struggles, and those obstacles. Think like God. Take a stand as consciousness, deductive, top down, fuse with your desired end. That's huge, guys. So, the universe, 3D reality, people, events, conditions, beliefs, assumptions, thoughts, and feelings, all of it is an illusion. However, meaning it's an illusion to believe that any of it has a separate existence from consciousness. So that illusion is real to you as you experience it. But it's an illusion only for the fact that all of it, if you believe any of it is separate from you, if you believe the experience of any of that is separate from you, that's what it means that it's an illusion. Do you hear this? The experience of these things as separate is real to you. That's the illusion. Do you hear that? So it's not that the experience is not real. It's just that if you believe that experience is separate from you, if you believe these things are separate from you, that's the illusion. Wow, that's powerful. The universe, 3D reality, people, events, and conditions, beliefs, assumptions, feelings, all of it's an illusion, meaning it's an illusion to believe that any of it has a separate existence from consciousness, that any of it's separate from you. The experience of these things as separate is real to you, but the reality of this experience comes from consciousness. So there is reality behind it, and it's ultimate reality. Wow, that's big. So the so-called illusions are as real as the consciousness they are made of. That's so big. So what is the illusion? The illusion is thinking you're separate from it, that you have no control, that you're trapped by these conditions. That's so big. So the play, the movie, the game of life arises and appears within that consciousness that always is, was, and will ever be. It's all just a play. It's all just a movie. You're just playing the game. And it all arises in that ultimate reality, in that consciousness. It's never not present. Choosing to only see 3D reality is part of the game. It's part of the movie. It's part of the play. That's why you say, Tom, all I see is these obstacles and this solid 3D around me, the things that I can have. Well, that's part of the game. But knowing that's part of the game is how you rise above it, is how you transcend it, is how you create like God from the top down. That's big. Focusing on your desired end while not identifying with any of it, hear this, as who you really are, is how to take a stand as consciousness and think like God. One more time. Focusing on your desired end, like this guy did, while not identifying with any of it, as who you really are, is how to take a stand as consciousness and think like God. That's how to create your desired reality from the top down. I am your host, Tom Kieran, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button, like and share our videos. That's how we get our message out. You can follow us on Facebook at Be Something Wonderful. We have a group called the Be Something Wonderful Ambassadors. That's facebook.com/groups/Be Something Wonderful. It's an open group. You're all welcome to join it and share your stories, share advice, guidance, and so forth. And you can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Tom Kieran, or visit our website anytime. It has all the information at tomkieran.com or besomethingwonderful.com. With great love, with great light and infinite gratitude, this is Tom. See you soon.